to sit on your headphones because I'm smart. Okay. So, this phone needs a name. This one. 4, 6. It has 6 pot leaves on it. I was thinking something like glass tiger because it's, like a ball, right? Like glass. Something like glass reefer. I don't know. Actually, that's not too bad. Glass reefer. But yeah, I'm open to suggestions. I don't really set for that one. But that's impeccable. Very, very, very dry. So very dry. Bottoms up. I don't want to smoke too much to start coughing, so it's not like making the other videos when you make ASMR. It's like you gotta think, I don't want to be coughing. I mean, you don't want to cough in a regular video either, but you really don't want to cough when people are listening really quietly and then it's just like I'm trying to film better now, so I can do less editing because for some reason every time I edit it always ends up, you have to do a lot of editing. It always ends up fine for the first 80% of the video, and then the end of it is slightly off by a second or so, and it bothers me. I don't know. So I'm trying to do the don't screw up and have to edit thing, especially since I'm filming at night. There's no cars and trucks and stuff outside, and other people are at least quiet if they're not asleep in the house. So opportunity knocks. Very, you gotta listen for it sometimes because it can be very quiet. Just as soon as I said something, I can hear somebody's TV playing commercials. Hopefully I can get rid of that when I get rid of the background noise, so maybe you won't have to hear it. We'll see. Okay. So, the purpose of this video is actually a point of celebration for me. It has been 300 days since I last touched any narcotic. No opiates, no stimulants. All I've used really is cannabis, which I now have a prescription for. So, yeah, I'm really stoked. I've spent a long time using. So that's what the day it is about. It's about addiction. So this will be, I'll be sure to put a trigger warning in my title. So I don't know if anybody will end up watching it or not, but I still want to put it out there because I'm proud of it. And sometimes you have to celebrate the things you're proud of, and not feel like you're gloating or something like that or whatever. Do you ever feel like as in society that we're encouraged to gloat about the things that really don't matter and things like this that are literally life changing? I have almost died from using 5 times, just solely from using. So it is literally a life changing started smoking weed and doing mushrooms, and that was it. Until the year 2000. I was 16, just turned 16, like 3 weeks before New Year's Eve. And the world was ending, Y2K, right? And I was at a party, and there was a whole variety of things there. So I took ecstasy for the first time. And I was fine, it was fun. Next day I felt like crap, of course. But within a week or so, I was using so many different chemicals and things, because it was just everywhere. That, like, the rave scene was really big, like that whole late 90s, early 2000s thing. So, yeah, and then I just kind of led to other things, which led to crystal meth when I was 16 years old. I stayed up for 3 days doing a bunch of meth, and on Monday, I was lying there trying to get to sleep, and my tongue swelled up, and I had tongue edema, which is where your tongue basically envelops the entirety of your mouth, and makes it really difficult to do things like breathe or talk or anything. Mostly breathing. Yeah, like, who cares if you can talk if you can't breathe, right? So I ended up going to the hospital. They treated me for an allergic reaction, which I guess I had something in the drugs. Maybe something was cut with or something. I don't know. And then I got into a 5-car pileup on a highway on the way back from the hospital, and I had to go spend time at the police station. It was one of my craziest days, and then I didn't touch meth until I was sometime in my 20s, and I didn't really want to do it, and then I started doing it again in my 30s, but by then it didn't matter because I was already doing opiates like a lot, and that's what really screwed up my life. In fact, when I got, somebody had given me, and it would have been, hold on, let me do the math, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So it would have been September 2nd, and somebody gave me a free half point of fentanyl, and I took it, and my whole arm lit up like an allergic reaction, like it looked kind of raised up on my arm. I could remember the feeling. It felt like something was like you know, like when something falls asleep, or like pins and needles like crawling, and it raised up on my arm, and it looked like a jaguar kind of thing. And I ended up getting, that was when I got infected with MRSA in my blood, which then started to break down my body, and I ended up waiting over a week to go to the hospital. But then I couldn't move my arms or anything unless I was using something for the pain. Going to the hospital. By the time I had surgery, I had a 10% chance of survival, which is crazy. The odds were not in my favor. And then when I woke up from that, after everything, my heart surgery and everything, and I'm fine, good. It's been almost 2 years. It's been like just over 600 days since my surgery. And yeah, anyways, it's crazy. It feels like it was a lot long ago. When I got out of the hospital, I was clean for, let me see, not including the coma, I guess, because I wasn't, even though I wasn't using, they had me on the same stuff that I was using on the street. Like they gave me fentanyl. When I was in the hospital, they actually had to give me like the dosage that they gave me. The way they explained it to my family was if one of them, like the nurse or one of my family members, had a dose of how high they had to have it would kill them. That's, how you know that you're using way too much. If what you're using would automatically kill pretty much anybody else, and for me it was like necessary to go up that high just to maintain my pain, which it mostly did. Heart surgery and like lying in a bed and all that stuff, and your body breaking down and stuff working, very, very painful. But I was sober, let me see, December, January, February, March, April, for a full 7 months, until July. So from December, when I left the hospital, I mean, you could include the 3 months I was in the hospital, so 10 months total, that I wasn't using. And then I ended up homeless. I did something stupid. I did a hit of acid, and somehow I ended up in like a dream state. Like that's, which I've never had happen from that before. It was weird. It was unexpected. I lost my bag, which had my wallet in it, my passport, health card, bank card. Somebody tapped away my rent. I couldn't pay my rent, and I didn't pay first and last when I moved in. I just moved in and paid my rent. And yeah, so then I was living on the street, and then I started using heavily again. In August last year, I overdosed 4 times in 10 days, which is crazy. I had naloxone used on me 3 to 4 times. Not the first time, the subsequent 3 times, and then I had to go to the hospital the last time, and they, got me all better and made sure I was okay, especially because of my heart and everything, and they gave me some medicine and stuff to help with an infection that I had from, just something on my ear. I had an infection, I don't know, and that was about it. I was pretty much done then, but I wasn't ready. I didn't want to do anything anymore, so it was about another month before I quit, but I started on methadone a couple days after my third, or like it was between my third and my fourth overdose, and they started pretty low, so you're still like feeling sick and everything, right, when you're taking things at such a high level that I was compared to what they will give you when you first start, because they're not going to give you crazy high dosage. They give you normal and raise you up. So I was still using. But luckily, that last overdose, somebody a security guard found me and gave me a shot in naloxone and called an ambulance. So I went back to the hospital because I was by myself. And I didn't really want to do that. So September 20th of last year, somebody gave me something, and it had an effect that I wasn't prepared for. It was, I don't remember what it was. It was like a prescription medication, but I'm not sure what it was. And I can't remember the name. But it made me very dizzy, and I was having a hard time walking, and I had like a difficult cold. Homeless person cart full with all my clothes and stuff is pretty heavy. And I'm trying to walk down a sidewalk that's slanted, and at one point I literally fell sideways. A cart fell sideways, I fell sideways, hit my head on the ground. I had to pick everything up and put all these bags back into my cart. Luckily a cop drove by, helped me up, lift everything up, made sure I was okay. I ended up seeing it again about an hour later. I hadn't made it much further, just because the cart was so heavy and I was so dizzy. And they offered me a ride, because there was nowhere they're like, you can't sleep on the street. Like, I guess there's certain areas you can, but where I was a no-no, because it was, in amongst everybody's houses and stuff. So that was a no-no. So they're like, well, we can take you to the detailing center. And I'm like, okay, let's see what. I would have a bed, I would be able to shower. I'd, have a few days, maybe I could get clean. And then when I got out, my mom helped me with a hotel for about a week or so. I was looking for an apartment. I couldn't find one where I was, and I ended up moving in with my brother's family, and then on my own. And I'm looking for a new place back home. But yeah, that's, kind of it in a nutshell. Those are like some of the big events, bigger parts of it. it has now been 300 days, and I've never made it that far, like, on my own. Like I said, I had 10 months already before, but 3 of those months I was in a coma. Or 2 months I was in a coma, 3 months I was in a hospital, so I wasn't using. They had me on what I used anyways, so I didn't really crave it until I left the hospital. But by then I was already on Suboxone, which I got off. It didn't work right for me. It didn't do what it was supposed to do for me. So I'm better on the methadose, but I am coming down off that because with the marijuana and all the other medications I'm on, it's just, I don't want it anymore. But because it does give a little bit of pain relief, and I have chronic pain, I'll probably stay on it at like 20 or 15 or something like that. Just something to help. And then that way I'm also, it keeps me, it's a way to keep me sober, because I'm constantly being tested once a week. And it keeps me, liable to myself, because I want to be able to keep seeing my kids. I want to be able to better my life and get things back on track. So the beginning is to keep that weekly testing to keep me honest, to keep me on the right track. I think that's what it really is the testing, and wanting to pass that every week, with no issues and no positive tests. You don't want positive tests, and I haven't had one. So, since I moved, there were definitely some in my old clinic when I first started, but none. I have full carries, so, which means I go in 1 day a week, sample, get my meds, they give me a week's worth, and I take it home instead of me going there every day. But, yeah, overall, I'm very proud of myself. Sorry about that, my memory card was full. And I've got good on what I was saying, so I'll just continue with I guess, just end of what I wanted to say. I think I was talking about, like, how it's important to support addicts, with, things like, harm reduction. That's what it is, harm reduction. Anything that can help their mental state, their use, to be safer. Or they have the drop-in centers. I used those a few times so that, in case something happened, I had people there. And I think those are really good. And I love that they don't actually do it for you or anything like that, but they're just there to give you a safe space. The kids, the naloxone, giving out bottles of water, the clean needle, like the needle exchange, everything. These kind of things need to continue. They are a huge help and make a big difference, for a lot of people. little kit that they had for the needles. Anyway, yeah, it takes 2 minutes just to 2 minutes, just 2 minutes to be taught how to use the naloxone, and you could potentially save somebody's life just by carrying it in your bag, or keeping it in your bag. Yeah, don't leave it in your car if you can avoid it, because it's hot. I think it has a temperature issue, which kind of sucks for people who are out on the streets, but it's still better than nothing. And it changed my life. It saved my life 3 times. And I was just lucky there are people who were carrying, because most people won't go into your own bag and go look for a kit. But most people that I know were carrying around, which made me feel very good. And it made me feel more comfortable, and that they're being, smart and responsible, and, we had each other's back, because I had my own naloxone too. So, anyway, that's all. I'm very happy that I've gone so far, for so long. Like, a year is just around the corner. 65 days is it. That's a whole year. I've been sober for a whole year since I was 9 years old. I don't drink anymore. That's because I still smoke pot. I've been smoking pot since I was 10, and I'm never gonna stop. Now I have a prescription for it. It's used for it was prescribed to me for substance abuse issues, anxiety, insomnia, and eating, lack of appetite. So, it's a miracle drug that helps a lot. So when I've had people say, well, you're not sober, you're smoking pot. I'm like, it's prescribed to me, and yeah, I still consider that sober. Especially since I'm not using it like ridiculous amounts. Most times I'll be like, oh, I'll smoke a joint, and halfway through it, I put it out and I don't smoke anymore for a couple hours. So, I definitely don't smoke a lot. Like I said, I've had an ounce for 3 weeks and I still have much of it left. Still have at least 5 or 6 grams left. There's 28 grams in an ounce, for those who don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna go. It is 4:20. You can't see the clock because I turned off the lights for better appearance, but now you can't even read what it says.